Here's something else to think about, macrobiotics. Maybe you've heard the term, but you wonder, well, what does that mean and why should I care? Well, if you're in search of good health or wonder if you can really prevent illness through what you eat, then macrobiotics may be for you. So we're lucky to have an internationally recognized lifestyle and diet guru. Danny Waxman is here with us this morning. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning. Thank
and
you,
you're going to
Kerri.
be talking about the book here, The Great Life Diet, and that's really what macrobiotics is about, isn't it?
It really is. It's really how to achieve a great life. A lot of people think it's about health, but we emphasize health so you can enjoy your life to the fullest.
And it's about what you eat, but it's also about how you eat it. Explain that.
Well, the first thing we recommend is sit down to eat without reading, watching TV, or working, so you can actually connect with your food. You really get to enjoy it and be much more satisfied.
And that's a benefit. That will help you in the end?
It's huge. People that eat without doing other things automatically make better choices. They automatically have better health than other people.
Well, and you have a couple tips we're going to pass on here. The first one is eat at regular times without skipping meals. A lot of times when people are trying to lose weight or get back on track with eating, they just eat less, but that's not what you're supposed to do.
No, if you skip a meal, you automatically gain weight because what you eat and when you eat set your metabolism. And the most important meal, I know people say, well, breakfast is most important, but I think lunch. Lunch resets your biological clock.
Interesting.
And the really important thing is to start your lunch before 1 o'clock. It resets your blood sugar clock every day.
Of course, it's also important what you eat at that lunch. So center your diet on whole grain products, you say, beans, veggies, soups, and other plant-based foods.
Correct. So the most important thing is to plan your diet around grains and vegetables, or grains, beans, and vegetables. This gives the most complete and balanced nutrition available. After that, soup's most important. Protein is just a modern myth.
Really?
All food has protein.
And I want to get to another myth that, you know, people, it's kind of controversial for some. We're going to talk about dairy in just a minute. The third one, though, is eat local foods. Is that because you're going to get food at its best when it's at its ripest and it's made for the area and the environment that you're living in?
Well, that's part of it, but the other part, food grows in a certain area, and when we connect with that, when we eat that food, we connect with that area. We feel more aligned with the weather, with the people, with the locality. And
it comes down to not even just being about lifestyle and about what we eat, but also our attitude, which who would have thought that played a factor into feeling good and having the best life you can. So dairy, let's talk about dairy, because you have, you know, we all grow up and we hear drink your milk, and you say there comes a time that we shouldn't be drinking that milk anymore, and it could even sort of parlay into breast cancer potentially. Explain that for us.
Absolutely. The only milk we really need is our mother's milk when we're nursed as a baby. And statistically, worldwide, people that eat dairy food have much more osteoporosis than others, and people that
Which is
don't.
the reason we're eating it.
I know.
It's supposed to prevent osteoporosis.
I know, it's really backwards. It's actually the cause. Calcium comes from the earth. It's one of the most abundant minerals in the earth's crust. So plants take up the calcium. That's where cows get their calcium from eating grass. We get it from greens. What you really need to know about calcium is greens and beans are the best sources, the most important sources of calcium in the world. And I can tell you from my clients, the ones that eat greens and beans don't break bones easily. And if they do, they heal in half the time expected.
And now, of course, there are going to be people who work in the dairy industry or people who are just very big milk fans. What would you say to them? Because they're going to say, wait a minute, that's all wrong. You got to drink your milk.
Right. Well, according to the research of Colin Campbell, when our diet hits 10% of animal and dairy products together, it actually activates genes that create cancer. And when the animal and dairy foods fall below 10%, it deactivates those same genes. And between animal and dairy protein, casein, dairy protein is by far the most harmful.
And a lot of people are allergic to that casein as well, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's also the cause of other allergies.
Right, right. Interesting.
So, yeah.
It's really, really fascinating. Do you have a lot of people who are skeptics and just say, I mean, it sounds too good to be true. If I eat a certain way, I could stave off cancer, or I could perhaps even heal my body. What do you say to that group of people?
Well, I mean, what can you say? Because the mainstream is that, you know, eat your animal and dairy foods, that's good for health. But at the same time, there's growing evidence and there's a growing number of people that realize that a whole foods plant-based diet You know, a grain and vegetable-based diet is not only the most healthy, but the most satisfying, the most enjoyable. And there's an added benefit. You never have to worry about your weight. You can eat as much as you want.
Makes me think I have to redo the grocery shopping list. Interesting stuff to think about. Thanks so much. And I know you take this message all around the world, so thanks for stopping in Connecticut. DennyWaxman.com. It's worth checking out, and also you can see his book as well, The Great Life Diet.
Yes,
Denny, thanks so much.